Yo, what's good, man? It's your boy DJ, man, and welcome to the very first episode of Mental Health, the podcast. Man, it's been a long journey getting to this point, you know, and being able to find an outlet to discuss something that is very near and hits very close to home for me. And it is the mental health that men battle with on a daily basis. This podcast, I created this to create a safe space for men to come and be men. Oftentimes, society places this stigmatism on men that, we're supposed to be strong, we're supposed to be tough all the time, we're supposed to not care, we're supposed to just do what needs to be done, and that's that. When that simple fact is not true. We're also taught that having emotion and being vulnerable or, being sensitive makes us weak. It makes us less of a man. And that's not the way, we should go about our lives. It's funny that, we're in positions where men are supposed to be the head of the household and we're supposed to make sure that everything under the roof is taken care of and then everything is good. And to me, it's how can we take care of everyone else around us or be that strong person that, the people around us lean on when there's something wrong up under our hood? For me, I think this was the best outlet for me to be able to come on and express myself in a way where people have no choice but to just listen for a while. I often feel like, a lot of times when I have expressed myself or people don't really see that I'm battling or I'm going through something, it goes unnoticed. And I think that's really what puts me in. I feel alone sometimes. Like I could be in a room full of people, but often feel alone. You know what I'm saying? But this podcast, I'm hoping that it does something that, the culture needs. And that's being, a man in America, a black man at that, because in the black community, black men are taught that supposed to show no emotions. That's weak. That's weak. You fall down, get your ass up. You know what I'm saying? That type of mentality. But what I want this podcast to do is to shed light on the fact that it is okay to not be okay. You know what I'm saying? Each episode, we're gonna try to shed light on things that men should talk about more. Whether that's, the mental battles they face with their career, their life choices, being a father, relationships, their self wealth and self, value. Because, we are valuable. So as we start, we're going to get into it. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about me. So, you can get a little backstory on, what led up to this exactly. Growing up, my life it was pretty decent. I had everything that I needed, good Christmases and things like that. I grew up in a small town, home in Louisiana. Shout out to the boot. You feel me? But things changed, as I got older. And I want to say, Hurricane Katrina kind of changed my life for, I don't even know what to say it changed it for now, but it changed it. Let me see how I could give you guys a little short summary of my life. I don't want to give you guys too much on episode one. Me and my family, we moved from Louisiana to Dallas. We were in Dallas for about a month, and we were staying in like this FEMA shelter at the time. We were staying there for like 2, 3 weeks at the time. And as a kid, you know what I'm saying, I don't really know what's going on, but I see what's going on. We're in this big 10 warehouse building with thousands and thousands of other families and stuff like that. And we're refugees, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to figure out what are we doing. We had a suburban with 5 kids and my mom in there. You feel me? And at the time, I didn't really look at life for what it was. I didn't know like what was coming next for me after this. I just knew like, okay, we were out of Louisiana. We're going to another place. I thought maybe we would go back. I don't know what the journey was. From Dallas, we moved to Atlanta, Cobb County, Marietta. Grew up there for about a while, but it got to the point where the area my mom was making to the type of housing it was just wasn't affordable for us. You know what I'm saying? But the area I was in was a very good area for sports. And if you know me, then I played sports all my life, and like that was my life. I thought I was gonna make it to the pros. I thought I was gonna be that guy, take care of my family, things like that. But the cards played out how they played out. I had a pretty good career for a while, not the NBA, but we'll get to that. It came down to the decision, do we move into another area which, things weren't that great. It was affordable, but as far as the things that I needed to succeed, it just wasn't what needed to be. My mom, she made the decision to give up the guardianship of me and just let me stay in the area so that I can attend the schools that I was in. I went to Wheeler High School, and if you know about sports, prestigious schools when it comes to athletes trying to get to the next level. So it came down to, I'm staying with teammates, I'm staying with coaches and things like that. And I'm 14 years old, and I'm bouncing around from house to house and couch to couch. And, a lot of people don't even know, like, it's times where I really didn't have a place to stay, and I would sleep at school. I would wait till after football practice, or I'll wait till after basketball practice, and I'm sneaking back in the locker room, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm walking the street, gas station, going to get my food, sneaking back to the school, shit like that. And then I met my best friend my ninth grade year, and, we've been kicking it ever since. Shout out Charles Mitchell. Good luck tonight on that game, boy. But yeah, so I met him, his family. We looked after each other. Being in high school and kind of raising myself and trying to kind of figuring out life in itself, it forced me to grow up at a rapid age. And I know it's a lot of kids out here who know about that. We can go on and on about the different movies, Blindside and all kinds of things like that, where kids have to grow up faster than what they are accustomed and used to. But I think things in life were happening so fast, my brain wasn't wrapped around it. I just knew that I had to figure out how to continue to do what I need to do to get where I need to go. But I still would have my moments where I had to think, and I was a child. It would be like games, my parents weren't there, and I didn't really have a good relationship with my dad growing up. My mom and dad had me when I was young, and it was tough. It was tough because I've always wanted that dual parent home with my parents. You know what I'm saying? And it was tough after games seeing like kids with their dad, or going to practice and the kids' dads is at practice and things like that. And that kind of made me resent and hate my parents for a while. Because I'm just like, why don't I have that? Why don't I have that? I don't have this normal life. I don't have this normal life. Every day for me is, getting up, figuring out, and going and get it. Like I feel like ever since we left Louisiana, I took the hardest routes to get where I needed to go. Even when it came to like my college recruiting, I didn't have someone walk me through recruiting. I didn't have anybody making my highlight tapes, taking my own visits, or contacting coaches. You know, I still pride myself into that to this day. Like, I did that on my own. I used to work summer jobs just to pay for camps to go try out for teams and shit like that. But that was growing up in high school, and then I ended up getting to college, and things started to look up. I feel a sense of I'm proud. I worked myself out. I pulled my bootstraps up, and I got to college by working hard and staying diligent. But still in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like I didn't have a normal career as a high school student would. You know what I'm saying? To this day, like it's crazy. So I ended up getting to college, man, and I think that's where the decisions on life, on what I needed to do, started to sit in. And summers, for a student athlete, you think, you're in school, you're in training, you're working out, you're devoted to whatever sport you're in, and you're sticking to it. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it was when I come home from summers, I'm working. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting money in my pockets. I was in one of those situations. We stayed at, it was like, 15 of us in my grandma's house. Everybody's, working ramen noodles every night type, and I'm a college student, and for me, it was no different from the path that I was taking from high school to the path that, I was taking in college. It just, to me, that was just a stop until I got back to college. I got back to, my safe space, which was college. I finally had my own room. I can go to the calf 3 times a day. I had guaranteed meals. I knew where I was going. I had a little schedule, of a structure. That's why I said to this day, college for me, you know, it kind of helped slow my life down before it got back into the hecticness that it was, or that it is. But God bless, I had a good support system from my friends, which I really pride myself in the circle around me, because my friends hold me down a lot of the times, whether they know they do or not. And I show my appreciation every chance I get, because during summers, one of my best friends I was telling you guys about, he went to tech, so he had his own dorm. And my guy was the guy in the city, you know what I'm saying? And, I would stay at the dorm with him, had my own room, we had shorties bringing us food. We had, you know what I'm saying? We had all kind of stuff. And that's just what we knew, is figuring out how to go get it and how to go survive day to day. But even with that, it was just like, my life still felt like I was still just moving constantly. Like, this is temporary. Like, I'm only going to be here for this summer, or I'm going to be at this school. I went to 3 different colleges. You know what I'm saying? Like, my life has always been constant movement, movement, moving, no structure, no structure. And I think, me becoming an adult now and my life is starting to settle, I'm seeing that a lot of my life choices that I've made younger, I mean, I don't regret it, but a lot of my life choices I made younger are starting to catch up and say, like, hey, maybe I should have stuck it out. Because my senior year, I ended up chasing going overseas to Mexico for little to no money, thinking like, oh, okay, this is my next, I'm gonna go play overseas for a while in Mexico, and I'm gonna make some money and be the guy to take care of my family. And I thought, once I start here, it's up, But I didn't finish getting my degree, which is stupid. Like, I wish I had somebody in my corner sit me down and say, no, you need to finish school. You need to stay in school. But again, I made my choices. I made my decisions. I didn't really have people in my corner telling me like, hey, this is what's more important. So that happens. I ended up going to Mexico. I think I played for a season or two, something like that. And I ended up coming back home and trying to figure out life. I think when I came home, I ended up working 2 jobs. I was working fucking Foot Locker and Home Depot at the same time. So from 11 to fucking 4, I'm selling shoes. And then from 5 to 2 a.m., I'm stocking, freighting boxes and all of that, man. So my life has been a constant movement of, it's been no structure. It's been no pattern. It's been no nothing. And I've been used to it. I think I've coped with it long enough, but in the back of my mind, I've always known, like, I wish it was different. So then it got to a point where, life, I ended up getting this coaching job overseas. So I was coaching kids in like Europe and France and Italy and stuff. And I was like, hey, this is cool. You know what I'm saying? This is what I want to do. And then my world just turned upside down about 3 years ago. Going on 3 years ago, it'll be next week. My brother passed away when I was out there. And I think that's what really, shook up my world. And I don't think I've been the same ever since that has happened. But I mean, everyone loses people, but it was, to me, man, my older brother. He was my older brother, man. And me and his relationship growing up, I never understood him because he had Asperger's syndrome. So I used to always just think, what I'm saying, that's just him. I didn't never look at the magnitude of why he act like that. He's weird. I used to pick on him all the time. I used to pick on him. I used to do this, that, and the third. And then our relationship got better. But I think, again, it was, I waited too long, to understand him and be there for him and understand that he was actually going through something, you know? And to me, I think going through what I'm going through and not having people understand me or understand, what I'm saying, the mental battles and the things that I face, I think I'm starting to understand life through the view of him now. It's times like my friends, they think I'm a little too emotional or I'm too sensitive or I'm things like that. But it's just like, for so long, like, my friends have showed me the love that I'm looking for. So to me, it's like, now I feel comfortable enough to be vulnerable and to be that person. I know at times I may get over emotional or I may get sensitive or, what I'm saying, I get too invested in it. That's only just because that's like, I have love for them. I have love for people. I would do anything. Everybody knows I'll get a shirt off my back for anybody, my last. And that's just how I am, because I don't want people to feel like how I felt when I felt like I didn't have anybody in my corner. Or those nights I was just up by myself thinking about, what I'm saying, what's next for me. But yeah, man, losing my brother, he died at 33, and I just turned 30 this year. So to me, that's been weighing heavy, what I'm saying, on me, because he didn't even get to live his full life, and he had plans, he had goals, he had ambition. And I just turned 30 in December, and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You feel me? Like, I'm in school right now because I know it's the right thing to do to get my degree. If I'm being honest, like, it's cool, and you know what I'm saying, I'm okay with it. I'm gonna be one of the first people in my family to get their degree, but at the end of the day, I feel lost in whatever decision I am. I feel like all of the decisions that I've made up until this point, I was just making them. I made spontaneous decisions. I made spontaneous choices. I never made a choice that was supposed to stick. The only choice that I ever made to stick was marrying my wife. That was it. and she is a blessing to me. So she is my safe space. But it's just certain things as a man, like if I'm being honest, like I'm not working right now. I haven't worked in like a year or two, and she's been holding it down, taking care of us while I do odd jobs here and there. I fly back and forth, go coach kids and everything like that. But she's been holding it down and she's been taking care of me. And to me, that in itself, is a testament to, one of the reasons I married her, because she saw me for who I am, and she sees the potential. She loves me undoubtedly for whatever I'm going through, and she tries to make sure that every day I'm a better person. And to be honest, I love her so much, I want to be a better person. So I think that's why mentally now life is really weighing in on me, because if I'm being honest, I'm ready for kids. I'm ready for the next step for us. But financially, I'm not there. Mentally, I'm not there. I'm still battling demons with myself on a daily basis. That, what I'm saying, we'll get more into it the later and deeper we get into these episodes. But as of right now, it's just I'm facing things that, a lot of men face, which is our identity, what I'm saying, our purpose. And I want to be the best version I can be of me for her. But it starts just fixing what's up here. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the reasons I started this podcast. Because there's days that I wake up and I don't want to be here. I'm not gonna lie. And it can stem from so many things, man. It could stem from, what I'm saying, my relationships with my family, to, the relationship that I don't have with my family right now. Like I'm going through some things with that. Like sometimes I feel like I'm just being used. There's times that I feel like, people don't really love me the way they say they love me. Or, one of my main issues is what I'm saying, and it's probably my Achilles heel, but I expect people to think like me or care like me or feel like me, and that's not fair. It's not. But I know that I am an emotional person. So like my emotions get involved. And what I'm saying, if you know me, like if I love you, I love you. So my heart is always 100% into things. And when I feel like I don't get that back, that puts me in a very uneasy place in life. But and with this podcast, I'm hoping that, we're able to shed some light on the battles that men face every day and everything that they're working on and everything in life that, hasn't come easy to them. Because I feel like even men, we don't have a safe space, or we don't feel safe enough to talk to people about those things. Because like I said, society treats us as we're supposed to be tough, we're supposed to be, emotionless, we're supposed to be head honcho, and nothing's supposed to phase us. But shit does. Shit phases everybody. But, as men, I read it today. In 2021, it was like 12.5% of men have admitted that they actually would like to seek help. That's only 1/3 of America, or men in the U.S. that feel that. You know what I'm saying? So think about the other fucking 88% of men out there that's going through some shit. And there's people out here who feel like mental health isn't a real thing, or going to therapy isn't real. But like that's your opinion, because there's men out here, there's people out here who seek help all the time, and people miss the signs. You know what I'm saying? But it's a battle, and I think that it's a battle that we can all come together in, men to men, have conversations with your friends, talk to somebody, watch the podcast. It's not going to always be dark and desolate episodes where we talk about how we hate life and everything. I wish everything was better, because, we're going to have episodes where we talk about the positive things that's going on in people's life, what I'm saying? So that we can compare that, there are good things that's going on and there are terrible things that are going on. Like for me, if I'm being transparent, like I was expecting some good news recently, didn't get it, and it put me in a funk, you know, expecting to get a job, and then having to talk today with my wife. It was just like, I guess it's not meant to be what it was supposed to be, but can't let stuff like that break our spirits. And, we have to keep pushing to be better every day. And it's not just a battle that we have to fight for with ourselves, it's people around us. So the people around us, you see something going on, you need to talk to those people. You know what I'm saying? If you see them off, don't take their "I'm all right" or "I'm okay" as lightly. You know what I mean? Like, don't sit there and think, "Oh, he said he's all right. He said he's good, so I'm gonna just let it be." Nah. Sometimes you have to be that wrecking ball in their lives and bust through the wall and try to talk to them, even if they don't want to. Because I guarantee at the end of the day, when they by themselves, they're gonna wish that that person pushed a little harder. But that's just me, man. But with this podcast, like I said, we're gonna have some real raw, uncut talks. I'm gonna have a few people come and talk about their lives. Gonna have some fathers come on, some athletes come on, people in their career field. So Stay tuned. I appreciate everybody who's tuned in to this first episode, man. And peace, love, and good vibes only. You feel me?